Great. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day two of LACUNY Institute. This morning's panel is two presenters, and presenters are Megan Marchese and Stefka at Tzanova from York College in the CUNY system. And Megan is a reference and instruction librarian at Farmingdale State College, part of the SUNY system. So I'm going to stop the share because I'm going to ask Megan to share her screen. And I just want to thank you all for attending today. My name is Aaron Polger, and I'm outreach librarian at the College of Staten Island, and I'm going to be the moderator for today's session. Okay, I'm going to stop the share. And Megan, if you would like, if you'd like to share your screen, that'd be great. And I'll just keep on admitting people. Megan, please feel free to unmute yourself if you'd like to
Okay.
start.
Hi,
Okay.
everyone. Hi. Whoops. I have clicked a few times. Let's see. Okay. So my name is Megan Marchese. I'm a reference and instruction librarian at Farmingdale State College. So I'm going to be talking about a survey I conducted this semester where students anonymously shared their experiences and their opinions about generative AI. So since ChatGPT was released in November 2022, I've been reading so many articles about how AI is going to change higher ed, how it's going to change the landscape of plagiarism, and how it's going to change how students are doing their work. And there's currently not much data which shows us details about how students are using AI for college assignments, including how they're using AI throughout the writing process, students' opinions on AI and plagiarism, and if they think colleges should have a role in teaching students how to use AI. So just looking briefly at the literature, we know that there are concerns about AI and academic integrity in plagiarism. AI is not reliably detected by plagiarism checkers. ChatGPT can hallucinate or fabricate the sources it cites in its responses. It can also be biased and inaccurate. On the other hand, research shows us that beneficial and ethical uses of AI relevant to relevant to college assignments include using it to identify a topic, select keywords, create outlines, develop study materials, and proofread. So this brings us to the survey. The survey was administered in the spring 2024 semester using Qualtrics. It was anonymous, and I had 248 responses. To get survey participants, I emailed faculty across all disciplines who taught a class this semester. I asked if they would announce the survey to their students either through Brightspace or in person. I also emailed student clubs. I handed out paper copies of the survey in the library and in the campus center, and I posted flyers around the campus. So I was looking to get a range of responses from students across all majors and ages. And the survey asked questions about students' experiences using AI in general and for college assignments, how students use AI throughout different stages of the writing and working process, their opinions on ethical and responsible use of AI for college assignments, and if and how colleges should teach students how to use AI. So the survey had responses from a range of students across first-year students, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. 75% of respondents were between the ages of 18 to 21, 11% were 24 or older. There were also a wide variety of responses by major. The highest number of responses we had was from business management majors at 18%, and then 8% for both criminal justice majors and science, technology, and society majors. Students were asked how often they use generative AI. So 26% said that they never used it, and 28.9% said that they rarely used it. So I was a bit surprised by the amount of people who said that they never or rarely use it. 27.5% said that they use it sometimes, 9.6% use it often, and 7.3% use it frequently. Looking at AI usage by class standing, freshmen and sophomores were more likely to have never used AI or to have rarely used AI compared to juniors and seniors. Seniors were more likely to use AI sometimes and often. And then just looking at usage by age, I wanted to note the difference in the frequently used response. Respondents over the age of 25 were more likely to frequently use AI than younger students. And respondents overwhelmingly use ChatGPT compared to other generative AI tools. So this question is asking how they use AI for any purpose, including personal use. When asked how they use AI, 47% said that they use it for college-based writing assignments, such as research papers, essays, or long-form questions. 48% said that they use it for non-writing assignments like short answers and solutions, and 68% said that they use it for personal use. ChatGPT was also the primary tool of choice for students who used AI to complete college assignments. So this survey had branched questions. So students who said that they never used AI didn't receive any of the questions that asked about their AI use. Also, students who only use AI for personal use and not for college assignments didn't receive any of the questions that asked them how they use it for assignments. Okay, so students were asked how to select how they used AI for assignments, and I'll just start with the highest number of responses. 49% said they use it to identify a topic. 45% said to create an outline for a writing assignment. 40% to get summaries of texts. 34% to proofread or to edit assignments. 31% to select keywords. 30% to create study materials. 29% to get answers for an assignment, and 22% to develop a thesis statement or research question, and 20% said that they have copy and pasted AI responses for assignments. For those who selected other, they said that using AI was part of their assignment. They used it to find different ways to phrase their thoughts and to find synonyms to help them learn and to help build their ideas. Students who said that they copy and pasted AI responses for an assignment received these next three questions, which asked about the percentage that they copied. So there were 20 students who answered these three questions. So 89% of students who answered these said that they strongly and somewhat agree that they have copy and pasted AI responses for 25% or more of an assignment. 47% said that they strongly and somewhat agree that they've copied and pasted AI responses for 50% or more of an assignment. However, 42% strongly and somewhat disagree that they have done this. And then lastly, many more people disagree that they've copied and pasted 75% or more of an assignment. 65% said that they strongly disagree and somewhat disagree that they've done this. But 23% strongly and somewhat agree that they have copied 75% or more for an assignment. So the rest of the questions were shown to everyone who said that they use AI for assignments, not just the people who said they copy and pasted. So 72% said that they strongly and somewhat agree that they check AI responses for accuracy. 79% said that they strongly and somewhat agree that they edit AI responses in their own words before using them in an assignment. So more than 10% answered strongly and somewhat disagree to this question. So more than 10% are saying that they don't make any changes to AI responses before submitting them. 70% said that they strongly and somewhat agree that they have found AI useful in completing college assignments. 21% said that they neither agree nor disagree with this, which tracks with a lot of the comments in the open-ended questions of the survey. So they were asked to explain their answer to whether or not they found AI to be useful. So here are the main themes of their responses. A lot of students use AI to help them get started with assignments. They use it to get ideas, create outlines, brainstorm topics. They use it to help them learn, including simplifying complex wording, getting background information about a research topic, and as a way to get explanations for concepts. One comment said, AI is always available to teach, a professor is not. And a number of people said that they use AI to help them understand the assignment requirements and what they're supposed to do for an assignment, which might be saying something about the need for clear assignment instructions. And they also said that they use AI to make sure their work has met the requirements of an assignment too. Let's see. A lot of people said that AI helped improve their writing, giving new approaches to their writing and helping with grammar. There were also a lot of comments about writing sophistication, basically saying that they ask AI to make their writing sound better and finding better ways to say something. Many people said that they use AI for proofreading too. The next area is about how students use AI to complete their work. Comments include how they use AI to help them expand upon their ideas. They use it to supplement their work. It gives them tips for how to complete their work, and it can assist with difficult questions. Another theme was how AI can help them save time. Some comments said that it was quick and that it helped with deadlines. And there were also comments about how AI is not necessarily useful. Sometimes it gives incorrect information, and others said sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Most respondents, 80%, said that they strongly agree or somewhat agree that their use of AI is ethical. Only 3% answered somewhat disagree, and no one responded that they strongly disagree that they use AI ethically. And they were asked to explain their answer to whether or not they considered their AI use to be ethical. So here are the responses from those who said strongly and somewhat agree that they use AI ethically. The first theme is that they view AI as a source of information like any other academic source, similar to Google, textbooks, thesauri, and websites. Some comments included, I'm not using it for something that Google couldn't help me with, and what's the difference between generative AI and Google? Students also talk about using AI as an assistant. They use it to help them brainstorm, for inspiration, to get ideas. There were a lot of responses that said that they use AI to improve their grammar and vocabulary. They use it for outlines, checking work, and study guides. One student wrote, it is a helper and not a cheat. And we already talked a bit about students using AI to learn. Again, they talk about using it to help them understand assignments. They said AI can explain what is being asked, show how it got its solution, and they can keep asking it questions to help them better understand. One student pointed to the example that they were required to code in MATLAB for their class, but they weren't taught how to use it, so they used ChatGPT to help them learn. Students also noted that they felt they were using AI ethically because they edit the AI response to paraphrase it in their own words and add their own thoughts. The few people who said they neither agreed nor disagreed that their AI use was ethical said, I don't think I'm harming anyone, and it's just doing the work I would have already done. I mostly use it to add bulk to an essay. So it seems these comments are saying, like, yes, I'm using AI responses in my assignments, but it's not that big of a deal. I said before that no one responded that they strongly disagree to their AI use being ethical, and no one who answered disagree left any comments. So if you're copying ChatGPT responses and submitting them for your assignments, you're probably not going to be so enthusiastic about admitting that on a survey, even if it's anonymous. I did make it clear that no personal identifiable information was being collected and that professors or administration wouldn't see responses, but it's still a sensitive topic when you're dealing with issues of plagiarism. So that would be one of the limitations. Okay. So next I asked if they thought using AI for assignments is plagiarism. 57% strongly and somewhat agreed that it is plagiarism. 20% said neither, neither agree nor disagree. 13% said somewhat disagree, and 8% said strongly disagree. So they were asked to explain their answers. Students who responded strongly and somewhat agree said it depends on how it's used. They said it's okay to use it as a learning tool or a support tool, including using it to get ideas, to help with grammar, to create outlines, and to organize your work. It's okay to use it for definitions. And they said it's okay to use it to reword your writing. They said it's not okay to submit exactly what AI gives you. They commented about the lack of citations that AI provides in its responses and that it doesn't give the source of its information. They talked about how AI takes information from the internet without citing or giving credit. There was also a theme about how AI output is not your work. People said you're not learning when you use it, that it's cheating, lazy, and not fair for students who don't use it. Some of the people who strongly and somewhat disagreed that using AI for assignments is plagiarism talks about how AI gives a unique response. So there were several comments about how AI's response is unique for every person, so they don't consider it to be plagiarism. One person said it's technically your own words because it's unique. Another differentiated between copying from a regular website, which they did consider plagiarism, and using a chat GPT response, which they questioned why would it be plagiarism because it had never been worded in that way before. Um, A lot of people who disagreed that it's plagiarism also said it depends how you use it. Again, they said it's okay to use AI as a tool to help them learn and plan their work. Some said it was okay to use AI responses as long as you cite them. And then some who answered disagree said it's not okay to copy and paste. They mentioned issues with accuracy of responses, the fact that your own thoughts or skills are not coming across in the assignment. And some said it's definitely plagiarism if you copy, if the whole assignment you're submitting is AI generated. I was curious to find out if students have learned AI in their courses. More than half strongly disagreed or somewhat disagreed with this. 13.5% said that they strongly agree that they have learned AI in their courses, and 16.6% somewhat agreed that they have learned AI in their courses. I also wanted to see if students thought that they should be learning how to use AI in college. 43% strongly and somewhat agreed with this. 33% said neither, and 23% did not think that they should be learning this in college. So I asked them to provide some more details about this. 44% said that colleges should be teaching how to use AI through library instruction sections. 44% also said workshops. 29% said learning AI in specific courses, and 24% said through asynchronous training. Some comments about this. Specific classes that people mentioned in which they would want to learn AI included writing classes, architecture, coding, programming, and computer science classes, engineering, first year experience, and visual communications and art classes. Other comments included wanting to learn it to format citations. One person said they would like it to be covered in the first year experience course to explain like what is okay to do with AI and what's not okay, how to use it as a tool and not a crutch. There was also a comment about teaching AI safety and learning how to cite it. The last question was open-ended for students to share any additional thoughts that they had. So here are the themes that were mentioned. Students want to learn how to effectively use AI. AI is growing in popularity and is necessary for certain disciplines. One person said it would be wild and outrageous to completely reject it. Students also talked about their concerns with inaccuracy and not learning writing skills or not gaining knowledge. And then some people talked about how AI doesn't always give them the responses or the help they need for assignments. One said it takes the same amount of time perfecting it than it does writing it yourself. Another said having friends, tutors, professors, or the writing center look over the assignment is more reliable. They can better understand the nuances of the assignment and of language and can give better feedback than AI can. So some takeaways. In terms of students' feelings of acceptable use of AI, they think it's okay to paraphrase AI output if not copying word for word. They also think that it's okay to use AI as a tool for getting ideas, for organizing, helping with grammar and writing sophistication. There is somewhat of a contradiction between these 2 points, I think. So one theme is that it's fine as long as you don't copy and paste it word for word. But if you're using it to improve your writing, like help your grammar, like change your sentence structure, make your writing quote unquote better, you are copying and pasting the end product. So I just thought that was interesting. And then let's see, as we saw in the plagiarism question, students have different opinions on what plagiarism is, especially those who talked about how AI's unique response would prevent it from being considered plagiarism. So some things to think about for the library. Students need to learn more about what AI is and what are acceptable uses in college. Students were interested in learning how to use AI through information literacy classes or other types of college workshops or in an asynchronous format. So some skills that are needed include making sure that students understand the basics of AI, including how responses are generated, potential problems with responses, including inaccuracy, bias, and hallucinations. There's a need to reinforce the importance of evaluating information and to explain that there are differences in quality between different types of sources. And with AI responses, the source of the information is usually not clear. So information is coming from somewhere on the internet, but we don't necessarily know where. And that ties into the typical ways that we teach students how to evaluate information, like who created it, for what purpose, and so on. So students need to know when it's beneficial to use AI and when it would be a problem in the context of college assignments, including how it can be used throughout the writing process. And it would be helpful for them to know how to cite AI and also to have a discussion about the definition of plagiarism in the context of AI. So, for example, some plagiarism definitions have the phrasing that plagiarism means like taking credit for someone else's work, words or ideas, or passing off the words or ideas of another as your own. But it seems that some students don't consider ChatGPT to be like someone else or another. And as we saw, some people think that just because AI is not a person, using the AI response is not taking anyone's ideas. So just one last note. So in my experience administering the survey, I found that some professors were really interested in announcing the survey and incorporating and have already been incorporating AI into their classes. I did have some others who said, I will not announce the survey because students know that they're not allowed to use AI. So I think it would just be important to discuss with the faculty member ahead of bringing this into their class to make sure it's a good fit for the class. Okay, so that's it for me. I believe we're going to take questions at the end after the next session.
Thank you so much, Megan. That was excellent, excellent, excellent. And we're going to have our next presentation. Stefka, your presentation is AI in academic libraries and critical AI literacy. Please feel free to share your screen.
My presentation is on artificial intelligence in academic libraries with emphasis on critical artificial intelligence literacy. Artificial intelligence in layman terms is an intelligent performance expressed by artificial body. Typically, AI is associated with some brainy behavior demonstrated by a system where the latter is usually a computer program. The first ever definition given by John McCarthy in 1956 described artificial intelligence and the science and engineering of making intelligent machines. There are many other definitions, formal and informal, which exist in parallel. The informal definitions are associated with the humanistic perspective and thus typically counterpoint machine-based intelligence to native human intelligence. They seek the answer to the question, can machine think, which was formulated in the late 50s by Alan Turing. The formal definitions of AI, also known as rationalistic view, focus on program and symbolic representation and disregard comparison to human intelligence. From the perspective of AI output, the technical description articulates predictive and generative artificial intelligence. Predictive AI deals with prediction over the existing data sets, while generative is a set of machine learning models that can generate new data. In other words, the output are objects that look like the one on which the model is trained. There are two distinct classes of AI implementation in library services. The library robot, which I'm not going to cover in this presentation, and the AI-enabled implementation dealing with the front-end library services. These implementations took decades to mature, despite the fact that in some areas like cataloging, indexing, acquisition and collection development, there were already since the late 90s. The key question is whether artificial intelligence may cause a loss of humanitarian nature of libraries. Some authors argue that AI-assisted services will lead to decline in the role of librarians since patrons will not seek their expertise anymore. Artificial intelligence in cataloging and indexing. The rule-centric nature of cataloging process and the accumulated knowledge inspired the first attempt to create cataloging expert systems in the 80s, which were not universally adopted. AI-based cataloging was revived with the appearance of ChatGPT in 2022. ChatGPT is simply a large language model which generates text by predicting the next word based on the list of calculated probabilities. Another approach is designing AI-enabled indexing system as frameworks using the open source AI tools. Artificial intelligence in acquisition and collection development. An expert system such as Selector Advisor can assist librarians to select the best and the most relevant materials for the library based on a questionnaire covering six predefined categories: subject, intellectual content, potential use, relation to collection, bibliographic consideration, and language. From librarians' perspective, some of the AI milestones in the collection development process are conducting data analytics, identifying gaps in the collection, and predicting new subject areas of interest based on data patterns, enriching collection diversity by ordering materials in underrepresented areas, enhancing order processing, developing methodology for collection assessment and evaluation. AI in information retrieval. The assessment of modern information retrieval system is a convolution of technical solution and non-technical metrics such as user satisfaction, interface friendliness, or other applicable information science norms. The commonly applied approach in the past was to use statistical distribution of terms of keywords in a database and to assign an inter-alliance value to each term. The AI-enabled systems replace the statistical methods with various machine learning algorithms at each step of the workflow. In other words, the document's representation sway away from key terms toward topics. At the end of the search, users should be able to critically evaluate the output for meaningfulness and accuracy. The role of librarians in that process is to teach and guide students how to operate AI-enabled information retrieval system, to help cleaning the semantics of the problem, or help to design proper queries or prompt. AI in reference services. In the context of AI application in reference services, there are two interceding knowledge-based technologies: natural language processing for support of the direct communication with an artificial agent, and some generative or predictive AI. Chatbots are instances of this cooperation, but they have many other alternative names such as conversation bot, conversational angels, and so on. There are two different groups of chatbot related to library reference services. The first group includes pre-programmed implementations capable to answer simple general questions, directional and predictable questions from the training scope. Such examples are Alexa, Echo, Siri. We're very familiar with them. The second group includes bots driven by generative AI, often named generative chatbots. These artificial agents are intended to provide human-like experience in face-to-face sessions. The most common platform is ChatGPT, the first among equals. Despite its remarkable ability to generate new text, ChatGPT is not immune from errors and will propagate any bias defined in the training sets. In addition, the software may generate fake data known as hallucinations. Artificial intelligence in scholarly communications. In the realm of scholarly communications, the use of AI can have both a positive and negative impact. It can accelerate text editing, formatting, and even the peer review process, and significantly reduce the cost of the editorial process. A very popular example is Grammarly, an AI-assisted grammar and spell checker. On the negative side, the fact that ChatGPT can generate content raises issues related to copyright and plagiarism and emphasizes some ethical concerns. The accessibility of generative AI tools make it easy to produce poor quality papers and consequently to compromise research integrity. An avalanche of substandard, low-quality online publications can lead to the substitution of human authors by machines and to devaluation of their skills and expertise. In the ideal world, publishers should be able to detect AI-written content. There are numerous software products on the market, also AI-based, that could solve this problem by identifying telltale signs such as fake references, etc. But the real issue in such programs are that they are still in their infancy and they are prone to mistakenly attributing human-created content to machines. AI in academic research. In the realm of scholarly communications, the use of AI can have both a positive and negative impact. It can accelerate text editing, formatting, and even the peer review process, and significantly reduce the cost of the editorial process. A very the applicability of particular type of AI in research is determined most importantly by the accuracy of the artificial agent and its trustworthiness. The major problem of artificial intelligence implementation in research is the lack of transparency by design. It's common to all AI-enabled applications. Both predictive and generative AI use machine learning algorithms, but in different ways and to different ends. In addition, the quality of generative AI output depends on the prompt, so several conversation extrapolations are typically needed in order to get customized response. Multiple experiments have been conducted to evaluate the actual performance of generative AI in scientific writing. By comparing the output to human-generated articles, the studies revealed that all chatbots demonstrated 3 types of bias: language bias, neo-colonial bias, and citation bias. In addition to reasoning errors, hallucination not only in the text were discovered, but in the references too. Impacts of artificial intelligence on academic integrity. In the professional literature, there are discussions whether generative AI applications such as ChatGPT commit plagiarism or not. The generative AI is not explanatory, so the outcome is without any citation of the original work or author attribution. There are many arguments supporting the statement that AI-generated text is a form of plagiarism. Major publishers, including Elsevier, Taylor and Francis, and Institute of Physics, have barred researchers from uploading manuscripts and sections of AI-generated text to produce peer-review reports. The ban onto AI-generated text is also enforced by research agencies such as National Institute of Health and National Science Foundation. On the technical side, the main question is whether the detection of AI-generated text will be ever feasible. For example, some popular anti-AI text classifiers, such as GPT-0, rely on pattern analysis, assuming that the AI-generated text holds repetitive patterns, while the human text is more diverse. Embedded watermarks in scientific text is another much debatable and questionable solution. Imposing restrictive policies alone is not enough. Consequently, any use of generative AI in manuscript creation may have potential ethical implications for the authors. Academic librarians should educate their patrons that generative AI cannot be used to create or alter original research data. Generative AI cannot be credited as author, and its use must be disclosed by authors. AI literacy. AI literacy is a relatively new concept. In general, it denotes thinking in AI terms. AI literacy cannot be precisely defined and should be explained as a broad convolution of three different quantities: knowledge about AI principles, ability to use AI tools, service and applications, and ability to critically evaluate AI output. AI literacy cannot be seen as the direct successor to all preceding literacy, such as digital literacy, computational literacy, or data literacy. That requires librarians to promote artificial intelligence literacy as a framework encompassing research literacy and data literacy, and to understood a necessary skill set for effectively communicating in artificial intelligence-driven medium. Teaching information literacy. Teaching artificial intelligence literacy. As academic librarians, first we have to ask ourselves whether we are ready, whether we are up to the task of teaching artificial intelligence literacy. Professional development activities, such as safe-paced learning, attending workshops, conferences, acquiring first-hand experience with AI tools, are just the first steps on the long and rocky road of mastering new skills. For academic librarians, teaching AI literacy emerges as a broad range of activities targeting proliferation of AI awareness for students and support for their AI skills development. The majority of students are capable to recognize the fact that information from AI-driven sources may reinforce inequalities, may violate users' privacy, or modify particular content. Vital element of information artificial intelligence literacy is the critical evaluation of the artificial intelligence-enabled output. Workshops for faculty are in the agenda too, and I hope I will have time to tell an anecdote about my own experience, to share my own experience with classroom faculty at York. Artificial intelligence impact on academic librarianship. From the perspective of academic librarians, the AI expansion may cause loss of some jobs associated with routine activities, but it also can transform the cognitive and creative part of librarianship. On professional level, the effect of AI implementations is the appearance of the versatile librarian, information professional, whose qualifications as librarian are merged with skills from other professions. Thus, the modern academic librarian is a convolution of educator, researcher, data curator, archivist, and recently even prompt manager. In terms of job duties, the first and foremost effect of artificial intelligence is the firming of librarians' role as educators. The required knowledge and skills include a good grip of AI concepts and technologies, plus understanding of various AI types used in one or another application. In addition, librarians need to have skills to manage and customize the AI applications when needed. That role tangents to the role of prompt engineer. Indeed, librarians do not have direct access to the code and cannot correct hidden flaws or bias in the algorithm itself, but they could participate in the development of optimal prompts for generative AI systems and provide valuable feedback about accuracy and biases of given AI applications. In conclusion, I will say that in the last decade, AI-enabled applications for libraries grew beyond rule-based expert systems toward generative and knowledge-driven integrated systems using extensive sets of machine learning algorithms and natural language processing. For academic librarians, the AI revolution presents new challenges requiring transformation of their traditional roles. That includes adding skills and knowledge needed to manage integrated AI systems. Academic librarian's role grows into a versatile librarian, the professional whose strong background in library science is enriched with skills and principal knowledge from other professions. In the AI revolution, librarians are still guardians of the human aspect of academic libraries. In the core of the transformation is AI literacy, a multi-level process with both social and technical dimension. Thank you very much. I hope this presentation was not too technical, but I have a background in engineering. I held engineering degree, so I just cannot help it. I took some artificial intelligence coursework in university, which was ages ago, and it was just a different realm. Believe it or not, artificial intelligence applications were very rudimentary ages ago in the late 80s and early 90s. So they were said to be obsolete and not to stay. But the last years, with the advent of personal computers, internet, smart cell phone, and due to ChatGPT-2, they're here to stay. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Megan and Stefka for your dynamic presentations, very timely, and for participating in this year's LACUNY Institute. And thank you all for attending. And please reach out to them. Their emails were listed if you have more questions. And thank you so much for presenting this year. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Stefka.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me and for attending our presentations.